This is Fly Guy for TekSushi.com and also for DorksideToys.com, carrying on with their Marvel Legends reviews. These are the brand new Marvel Legends comic series, and we're going to take a look here now at Sentry today. So there's the top of the box. This is a Build-A-Figure range if you're joining these halfway through the reviews, and you can get to choose to build either King Thor or Odin, the Allfather. So there's two different kind of options. We'll review the Build-A-Figure at the end of all of the reviews and show you the two different options. We've just reviewed Machine Man in the back there, but we're going to take a look there at Mr. Tight Yellow Lycra at Sentry, and we'll have a look at that figure in just 1 second. There's some yada yada on the box, and there's all the options for the King Thor or Odin options that you can swap around. Basically, there is a different arm going on there as well as that head and a different cape. Again, we'll show you that all at the end. So there's all the figures in the wave that all will be reviewed. And let's get a look at Sentry. Just before we do, the arms in this pack, these are Odin's arms for the Build-A-Figure. Again, we'll show you the review at the end. But these are all just the flesh-toned arms with a little bit of armour. Nicely done up at the top, the way they've done this little pivot joint there. Beautifully done. So again, we'll look at that figure towards the end, but they're both practically identical. There's no real difference whatsoever. So there we go. So, Sentry time. So Sentry is you cannot miss this guy. I mean, it's like literally, it's like a giant banana flying through the sky. But good looking facial sculpt, well designed, certainly looks like his comic incarnation. And we'll get a look at the articulation and so forth in a minute. He comes with the cape, which is removable, but it's a little better without it, I think. And there's peg holes at the back there. So he's a big dude, obviously goes to the gym in his banana pants and his blue booties. Standard Marvel Legends stuff in terms of articulation overall and the kind of body mould, but we'll talk about that in just a minute. One huge ass belt. You'd think he was going in for some fighting championships there, but yep. The facial sculpt, I really do like this. Now, we can't move his head very much because of this huge mane of hair at the back there, so you're pretty much locked in position from what you've got. But nice facial sculpt. I do like the way they've done the ear poking through the hair there, and there's some very nice colouring, weathering, and tones going on from his kind of dirty blonde hair there. So it's nicely done, and he's kind of menacing red eyes. Somebody's been having too much booze or something late at night, but it's nicely done. I like the pose, the way the hair's wafting in the wind there. He could be in the L'Oreal advert there. He looks so kind of good with his hair there. Very cool. So yeah, there is a bit of a limited articulation we can get for this guy back and forth because of this big mane of flowing hair there, but you can if you want to. So we'll get a look at the cape there again now. So one peg on the back of this, even though we've got two holes on this guy, but he literally plugs into let me just plug it into the second one, and if you line that up right, you've basically got the blue continuation of the paint from the back onto the rest of it. If you wanted to try and squeeze into the top joint, like I did, it will eventually kind of go in, but you're going to bugger up the figure, really. So it doesn't really work for me, but I kind of got it in earlier on, but it fits comfortably in the second peg, so yeah. That's the best way to do it. So, unfortunately, leaves a bit of a hole there on the figure, but not much we can do about it. So, we'll just taking the cape off. That's not much else to show you in the cape. It's just moulded to the back of the figure, and a straight blue cape. There's not much really going on in that overall. In terms of articulation, as I said, once we get his flowing locks out the way, you have limited movement on this. He can move down literally that much onto his chest, and we do get the bicep pivot joint there going on. We've got the shoulder joint, the bicep joint, double joints at the elbow. We've also got standard kind of rock and wrist and the hand joint there. You've got ab crunch going on, so there's a fair bit of ab crunch going on to this figure too. Swivel waist, clicks round pretty heavily, and you'll see the joints there, the pegs for the tops of the thighs, and of course there's a swivel thigh up at the top there too. Double joints at the knees. You've also got swivel at the top of these boots as well, and down these rocking vonkles or rocking ankles. So plenty of movement on this, tons of articulation. If you've been waiting for Sentry, then this is the figure for you. So it's not a bad looking figure at all, just not my favourite character really. But you'll see the back of the belt there. Also it just popped off literally. You can just clip and peg that back in. If I can move that around. There we go. It's that big ass belt. Once you move it, once you twist the waist, it just pops off. But yeah, good looking figure. I'd love to know your thoughts on this. They are sold out pretty much everywhere. There may be 1 or 2 Sentries left. We'll put a link underneath this to Dorkside Toys or other places wherever we can maybe still find these. They were all pre-sold out, these things, heavily sold out. As are all Marvel Legends. It's always worthwhile for 6-inch figures, just pre-order, because they're really hard to come by. And if you want to build that Build-A-Figure, you will end up paying crazy aftermarket prices, so it's always worth pre-ordering these things, I find. But again, I'd love to know your thoughts on Sentry. What do you think? What do you think of that cape? What do you think of the figure overall? Or the character? Do you like him? Again, please leave a comment below. If you're brand new to either TekSushi.com or to DorksideToys.com, please do subscribe. We've got lots of cool reviews and updates and news that will come straight through these YouTube channels, and you get them straight into your inbox. That's it for now. Stay tuned for another Marvel Legends figure coming up next.